What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Fight. So we don't have any new information about Marvel Future Revolution, but we do have some information about Marvel Future Fight. I was hoping that there'd be some exciting news about Marvel's Avengers, but alas, none. So let's jump into this anyways. However, I want to make you guys know that there's going to be a rolling update tonight for Emma Frost. So it's the standard mid-month rolling out update. So basically log in, log off until hopefully you get it. But basically Emma Frost is getting a new costume and she's getting her tier 3, so this should be pretty interesting. Emma Frost has some unique abilities. Unfortunately, most of her uniforms have largely been duds. Like this uniform here was her most recent uniform, Wrath of the Phoenix Queen. You hear that Wrath of the Phoenix Queen and you think like, yeah, this is gonna be a good uniform, and then end up with a complete dud. So let's take a look at some of the updates coming to her uniform overall to see how they look on paper. This is her uniform effect currently. She is going to get a 20% increase of energy attack, and now she has an activation rate of 50%, and then she applies incapacitation for 10 seconds. The cooldown time on that is still 15 seconds. Next up, let's take a look at some of these skills. So first passive that she has is Mind of, well, this is a tier 2 passive. Mind of a Queen is Mind of a Queen. And for here, she is going to now have a this is still going to apply to self. It has a 60% chance to penetrate. Yeah, like already we see something thrown off here, because now instead of having a 100% chance to penetrate with barrier and shield effect, she's getting a nerf. So it's going to be a 60% chance to penetrate. Okay, and so it's a nerf. The first thing we see on one of her skills is a nerf. She is going to get increased mind resist by 60%, is also being removed. Yeah, okay, so already, yeah, so now she's gonna have a 100% chance to become immune to mind damage. Now she is getting a buff in terms of increasing the mind damage by 50%. So she's getting the fire damage removed because she's no longer going to be in the Phoenix Force uniform, so she's not having that anymore at all. Assuming that's also the reason why they're taking away 40% chance to penetrate. So maybe that's what that is, but that's essentially what her buff is now looking like. 60% chance to penetrate, 100% chance to become immune to mind damage, and then increases mind damage by 50%. So the next one that we have is her mind cloaking. That's this ability right here. She's basically going to have, this one only had an increased guaranteed dodge rate by 20%. That's going to increase to 30%. She's also getting an increase to skill damage by 20%, increases bones damage by 10%, and then a 40% increase in max HP. That should be a large increase in HP pool right there alone for the character. So we can see the buff there. Now we need to get into her skills overall. First skill up is going to be her Mind Blast. There's still not much on this skill at all. It's the first skill, so it's just almost like an auto attack skill at this point. But here goes the really weird part, is that it's another nerf. So instead of having mind damage 120% of energy, well, no, excuse me, this is a buff. Instead of having 100 mind damage 112%, she is now going to have mind damage 120% damage. Next up, we have her second skill, which is going to change to Queen's Resolution. From Telekinetic Explosion to Queen's Resolution applies to enemies. She is now going to have the burn damage is going to be removed. The stun is going to be increased by 2 seconds. So she's not going to have the fire damage. Is mind damage 115%, and then 100% chance for immunity to all damage. So that's good, because again, we see another skill that she's basically getting immunity damage for 2 seconds. There's a cooldown time on this for 7 seconds, so that's decreased from the 9 seconds. That's good as well. Up next is going to be her third skill, which is now called Diamond Barrier, which has the ignore targeting effect on it. So she enables the attacking of any enemies that who have ignore targeting on it. So for some reason or another, they've added bleed damage into this skill. I believe it's because this is going to be her tossing out diamonds of some sort. You'll see when we get to the tier 3, but that's going to be bleed damage 30%. Nobody cares about it at all. Like, I mean, at all. So she loses the stun and she gains bleed damage, which we don't care about. Then she applies to self, so she's having super armor, increase all basic defenses. That's still 30%, still the same there. Well, no, she's getting the good thing about this new skill is that she is getting the damage accumulation skill. So she accumulates 10% of true damage dealt to an enemy regardless of defense and dodge rate. The really weird part is that instead she's not getting like 0.6 or 0.10 or something, like, you know, percent or something like that, 0.9. She's getting 0.5% increase all basic attack for her true damage accumulation. That's a little bit weird, but it is what it is. She still has the decreased basic damage received. She's going to increase all basic attacks by 30%, and then her mind damage is 130%, not the fire damage of 135. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Next up, we have skill number 4. Splendid Performance is going to be the new name of the skill. She basically has paralysis on this skill, decrease all basic defense, all defense down for 35%, and it ignores immunity for 7 seconds. Then she also gets invincible on this skill for 3 seconds, and mind damage is 135 of energy attack. So that's definitely a buff on her 4th skill. We can see, like, even for this, for them to have come out with a 4th skill like this, where it was just that, geez, I don't even think I thought about how terrible that was. Up next, we have her 5th skill, where this was called Phoenix Wrath. Phoenix Queen's Wrath. We now have absolute domination. Let's hope this skill is actually absolute domination. So she still keeps the bind, but she gains silence, charm, and mind control. So that's really good. She gains mind control. This is receiving a buff as well, because it's going to be 10% instead, with the 6% decrease of mind resistance. That stacks up to 100%. But she's also gaining more abilities on this skill, so she's going to have a 30% recovery of max HP. So thank the heavens that she's actually receiving a buff here in terms of skill HP recovery, which is needed on all characters. Then she also gains her frenzy buff, increases all basic attacks by 20%, defenses by 20%, and all speeds by 5%, while dealing mind damage 120% of energy attack. So that should be good for her overall. We can see that overall the character on paper is receiving a buff. However, I want to point this out to you guys. Be careful, because we saw that, like, from the previous Hellfire Gala, that Mr. Sinister and none of those characters basically got the goods that we really wanted from them. So along with that, Emma is getting her T3 skill. On that skill, she has stun for 3 seconds, ignore targets, dodge rate by 80%, another invincible skill, so she should be good to go for a lot of these. Remove all debuffs, another frenzy buff by 30, 10, and 20, and then she increases basic damage by 50 for 2 attack. This is her T3 skill, which looks pretty cool. I saw some of the comments, people were like, she don't throw diamonds. So we'll have to see how the skill plays out. Has a pretty cool SFX animation on it. The SFX animation on this game is good. Now we get into the bad part, the thing that I hate the most about current Marvel Future Fight is the new artifact system. They're adding a new artifact that's being added for Emma Frost, and when you look at the skill, this is something that you would just expect should be on the character, period. She gets the reflect of 35% of basic damage regardless of the attacker's defense, 50% of max attack, and increase max attack ratio by 5 for total instinct. I know they've got to push these artifacts some way, but the problem with these artifacts is that they're going to get clogged real quick. With every character receiving a artifact and over 200 artifacts, your ability to roll for artifacts is going to be really trash. So along with that, we have a new uniform collection for the Hellfire Gala update. We all kind of knew that was going to come. 300 Phoenix feathers right now at this moment would be good for most players to be able to level up any of their X-Men characters. Mr. Sinister is receiving a buff to his skill for his 4th active skill for Hellfire Gala, where he's getting a 50% chance to pen, or is this a negative 50? I hope this is a 50% chance to penetrate with super armor and all damage, immune and invincible. Mr. Sinister is also going to use his awaken skill by priority when doing auto inside PvP, so that should hopefully give him enough of a bump. I doubt it though. He's probably going to be relegated to side bitch character still inside there, where it's just going to be that. Now the most important thing that you guys need to know is that there is going to be a Hellfire Gala celebration event. So with this event, they're going to be doing a lot of things, namely all uniforms are going to be 40% off. That's really good. Everybody should be clapping for that. There's going to be a new faction war that's also going to be added. Make sure that when you log in, basically it's going to be which faction you join. Your faction is going to collect some items based on it. If you haven't done a faction war before, just participate. Just participate in the event. Do the normal things that you normally do, play the game and try to generate rewards. These are the rewards that are going to be listed. If you're the MVP, meaning you put out the most amount of work in there, you'll get 3,000 crystals, extreme boost ESO. If you're not ready to pay out to purchase energy and things like that in order to redo events and just spend a lot of time, don't even plan on that. The victory reward is here and the loss reward is there, so we're gonna get some X gene selectors inside here. The really bad thing is it doesn't look like there's gonna give any character biometrics or X genes at all in terms of like specific characters. So I would have liked to see, especially with Emma Frost having the longevity that she's had inside the game, where she hasn't been that good, that maybe the good faith reward would have been to give us X genes for Emma Frost, because Emma Frost cannot be obtained other than to purchase her crystal pack for the character. So it is what it is. So these are the contribution rewards overall. Yeah, these are going to be what the contribution rewards are. Emma Frost's crystal pack is also going to be discounted, so first time purchase, instead of 2,500 crystals, basically you can get 2,000. It's going to cost you 2,000 crystals, or it's going to cost you 1,000 crystals. You decide which one you're going to purchase. I would seriously say hold off on her because of the hold off until you get good word about her, because for the history of the character, this character has been shafted overall by Netmarble. So she's also going to have her hero growth bonus missions and stuff like that, basically collect some upgrade kits. These upgrade kits, I don't know why they don't change the rewards on these, because they're not worth the rewards are just terrible. The same thing like if you looked at the crystal bonus mission that's going to be happening. So if you were going to be going to purchase Emma, this would be a good enough time than any, because you're getting crystal bonuses for basically making crystal purchases. These rewards seriously need to be reworked. They have added in the 3-star exclusive passive skill artifact chest inside there, so we'll have to see exactly how well that balances out inside the long run of the game. But some of these other rewards in here need to be upped for sure. They just don't make sense anymore. The event world boss is going to be happening as well, so we're gonna have Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. It's gonna cost you 20 energy to participate. The good thing is that the 20 energy is worth the rewards that you get in the game, ultimately get from completing each stage. Ultimately, there is going to be a character ranking event, so this should be good. Play the character. If you plan on leveling up Emma Frost, make sure you get her leveled up completely, so that way you can get it. Otherwise, you're basically going to finish in the top 1% or something like that in order to get the crystal rewards. There's going to be a black antimatter and Nornstone of Chaos surprise gift. These are no longer really surprise gifts to me, especially at what they're giving. Having 100 Nornstones and 100 black antimatter, I don't really even think they're good, if you're free to play player or whatever, but having these rewards, there's other ways to generate these rewards far easier. The Uru combined gold event is going to be up, so there's 30% discount for combining Uru, which is always a good thing. Take advantage of combining up. If you are a new player, you should basically understand that this is the time where you combine your energy and your physical attack Uru. The HP crit rate Urus are other ones that you want to hold on to. The other ones, HP crit rate, energy attack and physical attacks, are one that you should be holding on to and making sure that you level up. and then using the other ones is what I say to smash them together. The Uru unequipped cost is going to be there, but they're going to have the combined event that's inside there where you can just smash Urus together and hopefully get some Oda's Blessing. Cynic Alex did a video a while back showing that he had better success with individually smashing one at a time instead of trying to do mass smashes mass combines in order to try to generate some Uru. But they're always good to have. You always want those Odin Blessing Urus inside the game, so look forward to that. Now they are going to have some other events inside here, like we basically have a Hellfire Gala chest. We've been through this one before where I've showed you it's worth the price of crystals if you need the crystals, but the rewards that are in the chest are just not worth it, because more than likely you're not going to end up with Cosmic Q fragments or the mega rank up ticket. Most likely you're going to end up with gold or Phoenix feathers or some shit like that, most likely comic cards in general. So participate if you need the gold, if you need the crystals. The crystal price versus the dollar price is worth it. They're also going to have a relay pack event. This is for the whales of the whales, so unless you're whaling, don't purchase this event. That's just the truth of the matter. The packages are what they are. You know, you really can't help but have those packages, so it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things. They're also going to have they currently have the 6-year anniversary pack inside the shops still, so if that's something that you want to purchase that as well. But you know, it is what it is. There is going to be a premium tier 3 pack that's going to be inside the shop. I don't really, to be honest with you, I'm going to show it to you. So it's a premium tier 3 pack that's going to cost $100, and it's got 100 biometrics, 2 Titan records, and then Essence of Dimension, Titan components, 8,000 crystals, and Cosmic Cube fragments. I don't know what they're thinking. That is not a premium tier 3 pack. That's just my opinion, because this is not going to help you tier 3 a hero. Let's just put it honestly. Like the Cosmic Cube fragments for most for here, like it's under the 800 that you need for most free characters, so it's not enough for free characters. The Essence of Dimension and Titan component packs, if you really need 1400 and 1750 of these in order to get your character tier 3, trust me, you need so much more, and this is not a premium tier 3 pack. That's just my opinion overall. But those are all the events that's going down inside Marvel Future Fight. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully we're going to be looking at Dark Domain Part 2 coming up inside Marvel Future Revolution, and we should be getting some kind of updates, hopefully some kind of roadmap inside Marvel's Avengers. I finally caught up enough in that game where I can put it into just like not autoplay, but like, you know, daily rotation now, so that way I can start creating content for you guys on the OLTs, character builds, and things like that for that game as well, while we also wait for Lost Ark and Elden Ring to drop next month. I hope you guys are enjoying all the games that you are playing and the content that I'm bringing to you. If you are, hit that like and subscribe button, and if you already subscribe, hit that notification bell, so that way you get notified of any new content that I drop. Until next time, guys, peace.